Pete Moore, Mart TV. The importers, Viking Arms, sent me a Haenel Jaeger 10 Varmint. The Jaeger 10 is German. It's an interesting rifle, been around for quite a long time, and I don't really know what the take-up is on the gun. It could be one of those guns that's a little bit so overlooked. Sometimes happens, I don't know why. And I've shot a few of them, but this is the Varmint. And basically the chassis is exactly the same. It's a synthetic stock, rubber covered, slim fore end, free float barrel, reasonably rigid. And on the Varmint gun you have an adjustable comb, which is very nice, because I found on the standard Jaegers that have the fixed stock, the head sits very low on the stock for comfort. So by having this adjustable comb, you can get a nice eye scope alignment. Again, it's nothing sort of amazing in terms of build. It's a nice quality gun, good finish. Barrel's 22 inches, and it's this one, say, Chamberlain 223 Rem. So the barrel, I suppose, you could call light medium because of the smaller bore size. Feeds from a detachable magazine with a double paddle here, which is nice. Just press down, mag drops 3, and it's all built on a long action, so the magazine is the same no matter what caliber you pick, and it obviously offers the usual numbers. All they do with the shorter calibers like 223 is put a filler block in the back. It only holds 3 rounds despite the size of it, so you've got 3 + 1 as a capacity. But it comes really sort of barebacked. This Picatinny rail is from a 700 long action, and the Haenel very wisely drilled it to suit. Bolt's quite nice. It's got a crankback handle with a big ball end, so you can really get on it, nice and comfy. Bolt release this side comes out, and you've got 6 lug, or stagger 6 lug. This is the same for all the guns, so I imagine it's done that. You've got extra strength in the bigger calibers. So you've got a plunger type ejector and a standard sort of extractor. And really, as we like varmint guns in the UK for doing foxes and things, it's proved to be quite a nice rifle. Tris rate is 1 in 12, which is very much what you expect from a sporting rifle. These days, it's a little bit behind perhaps, because a lot of the American stuff is going 1 in 9, 1 in 8, that sort of thing. But for what you use it for, reasonably fast, lightweight bullets, then the twist is fine as I... Okay, it's the ammo I used in it. Gecko 223 Remington, soft tip in 53 grain, which is pretty much a standard foxing type load. There's a picture of old Charlie in the front cover if you forget what you've got to use it for. That's the one in the middle. That was hitting 3,014 feet per second with a standard deviation of 7.1 and shooting 0.75, which I thought was pretty good, though a little bit low given the barrel length and speed wise. Next was Haenel's Super Performance Varmint 40 grain VMAX, which is the run on the right with the red tip. The Gecko's next to it, and that was averaging 3,163 feet per second with a standard deviation of 36.9 feet per second, and punching in a very nice 0.6 inch groups. So the SD is a little bit high, but what did surprise me, looking at the box, Haenel, they quote this load at 3,800 feet per second, and as you can see 3,163 is well below it. I'm not sure what barrel length they use to get that figure, but sometimes it happens. Some rifles shoot faster than others. And finally, the Boattail hard point match, which is just purely for punching paper, was coming in at 2747 with an SD, again a whopping FD is 58.3, and shooting 1 inch. I wasn't impressed with the SD, but 1 inch is pretty good for a 1 in 12 twist, bearing in mind that the 69s are really sort of 1 in 9, 1 in 8 twist barrels. And if you wanted something heavy, because it would give a fair bit of energy of that's an expanding bullet, then it would definitely take down small deer and foxes without a real problem. But overall, if you discount the 69, it was more of an interest shot. Both these loads, depending on what you want to do, I mean the 40 grain, very frangible little bullet, would be great for corvids and that sort of thing, whereas the 55 grain, 53 grain Gecko is pretty much an all-rounder for what you want to do. But overall, with 2 different makes of ammo and a reload, the rifle shoots, so there won't be any problem for anybody who's getting one finding something that it likes. Okay, so let's load up. As I said before, this paddle, it's like ambidextrous. You've got a plate either side, just push it forward, empty comes clean away. So 3 round, bit low, but perhaps it's the European thing. Rounds clip in, just push straight down like that. And you can see, as I said before, this is a standard full length magazine for long action. And note where the cartridges sit in relation to the length. All this here is a filler block, so you can use one magazine for all the calibers, just had to modify the feed ups a bit. You've got one to put in the chamber. One thing I did notice with this, it's one of those rifles that's got a bit of a funny, you put it in and it clips in nicely, but if you're not too careful, you can get the back locked in. If you see that there, that is hanging out. If you listen, it clips in, so you need to be a little bit aggressive with it. Another thing I noticed with this, some do, some don't. You can't throw around in the ejection port and expect a chamber, it just doesn't. So with 4 rounds on the gun, you've got enough of what you want to do. So your trigger's good, bolt action is pretty smooth. So to put these on, just put the comb up to a decent height. As you can see, there's quite a gap there when you get a good height to it. This is great, but with a low comb it's fixed. You'll need some sort of butt bag or something. So you chamber nicely. And as you can see, it's a really nice smooth action, no problems with ejection, the cases come right out. Often on these 223 guns with a full length action, you can have issues with the case falling off the extractor, but I've had none with this whatsoever. My old Mauser M03, great rifle, but if you were a little bit slow on the action, the case would sort of dribble off and you had to be really hard and hit it to get it out quickly. Things about it, nothing particularly. You've got a cocked action indicator, you can see here. The action is cocked. We are here. If you watch this, it pops back in, just tells you where it is. Safety too, it's quite nice. It's a roller, a little bit like a Remington. Pushes forward to fire and back for safe. When it's safe, you can't open the bolt, but there's a little catch here. You might just see if I point. Just in front of the safety catch. You press that down, like so, you can open the action up. So though it's a varminter, though it's a heavy rifle because the barrel is reasonably heavy, it's not that heavy. A lot of people go over the top with their varmint rifles. They've got massive heavy stocks on them and huge heavy barrels, and I honestly don't think it helps that much. And if this thing can shoot 0.6 with those 40 grains and 0.75 with the 55s, then that's pretty much all you need it to do. So it's threaded 15mm up front. I've got a Barton Road Gunworks small reflex on there which suits the gun very well. Comes with a QD stud here. I've got Harris bipod and a fixed stud back there. Nice recoil pad. I haven't had much to do with it. I've tested them before, but this is a sweet rifle. If I was going out tonight to do foxing or muntjac or something, 55 grain load, which would be perfect for it, I wouldn't be unhappy at all. So, as I said before, I'm not sure what the take-up is with the Haenel because there's other makes that seem to catch all the limelight, but if you're looking for, well in this case, a 223 sort of varmint gun, or just half decent, sort of 243, that sort of thing, just for deer shooting, then before you park the hard-earned cash, have a look around and definitely have a look at the Jaeger 10 because it has got something to offer. As Pete Moore signing off, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, tell your friends, support the site, and if you need to speak about anything, it's pmore.shootingsports@gmail.com. And I'll see you next time with more kit. Be good and stay safe.